In the headlines, 2 dead, 3 injured as building collapses in Lagos. Army vows to investigate as police arrest 2 soldiers for a murder of Islamic cleric in Yobe. National Bureau of Statistics records food price hike in July 2022. And on the foreign scene, DR Congo confirms new case of Ebola linked to 2018 outbreak. Hello and welcome to the news update on Trust TV. I am Nten Ekpang. And on the news in full, 2 children were reported dead while 3 adults sustained injuries when the building at Adeleye Street in Bariga local government of Lagos State collapsed on Sunday. The Permanent Secretary, Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, LASEMA, Olufemi Oke, said the agency, upon arrival at the incident scene, discovered that the tank scaffolding of a 2-story building collapsed on the bungalow beside it and affected 2 rooms. The Adamawa State Police Command has arrested a 25-year-old man who allegedly murdered 2 of his children aged 3 and 5 in Mechika local government area of Adamawa State. Police Public Relations Officer Suleiman Nguroje in a statement said the suspect, Elisha Tari, a resident of Himekidu, Mechika local government area, was said to have killed the victims with stones and sticks which he had used in hitting them on their heads severally. The statement added that the incident was reported at the Divisional Police Headquarters by the grandfather of the victims. Nguroje said preliminary investigation reveals that the victim's mother got separated from the suspect 2 months ago after they had a misunderstanding. Police in Edo State have killed a suspected kidnapper and rescued 4 victims in 2 different operations. Police Deputy Public Relations Officer in the state, Jennifer Iwe, boasted these on Sunday in Benin. She explained that the kidnappers, dressed in military uniforms, had accosted the victims traveling in a Toyota Camry car and whisked them into the forest. A victim who escaped from the kidnappers then told the police about their whereabouts at Iyuku Forest. Police operatives then laid an ambush for the kidnappers, and in an exchange of gunfire, one of them was put down, while other members of the gang escaped with various degrees of gunshot injuries. Iwebu stated that bush combing is ongoing to arrest the fleeing gang members. Police in Zamfara State say they have rescued 2 kidnapped female victims after they have spent 3 weeks in bandits' captivity. The command's Public Relations Officer, Superintendent Mohammed Shehu, said the hostages were rescued following an intelligence report on the 20th of August, while operatives of the Zamfara State Police Command on confidence-building patrol along in Yamango in Bungudu local government area. The 2 victims, Obaida Hassan, a 12-year-old, and Omeima Jamilu, a 10-year-old, of Gidan Liman village in Kekun Wache district of Bungudu local government area of Zamfara State, were abducted by terrorists on the 15th of July following an attack on the affected village. The 2 victims were rescued unhurt and later medically checked at General Hospital Bungudu and thereafter debriefed by the police and handed over to their families. Meanwhile, Deputy Governor of Zamfara State, Hassan Nasiha, says the notorious bandits leader Bello Turji has embraced the peace initiative and stopped attacking innocent citizens in Birnin Magaji, Shinkafi, and Zermi local government areas of the state. Nasiha disclosed this at the Conference on Security in Gusau, the state capital, organized by Students' Union of Medina University. The report.
Zamfara State Deputy Governor, the singular action of Bello Turji is bringing about relative peace in the 3 local councils which were hitherto the front line of banditry in Zamfara State, northwest Nigeria. Senator Nasiha noted that for the past 5 weeks, there has not been any reported clash between the Fulanis and Hausas in Birnin Magaji, Shinkafi, and Zurmi local government areas of the state as a result of dialogue to broker peace between the 2 warring functions in the state.
Bayan al'umma za a yi da bindiga ba, ko da sanduna ko da adama,
Several wars were fought, but that did not stop the parties involved from dialogue to resolve their differences through peace deal. It is in the light of this that Governor Mohammed Bello thought it is necessary to use both kinetic and non-kinetic approaches to address the situation. The approach did not require a gun battle or war, using whatsoever weapons, between the bandits and the people. Instead, the governor set up a powerful committee chaired by him, the deputy governor, Hassan Nasia, to go to 14 local government areas of the state to meet with bandits in their camp to discuss with them on how to make peace. Senator Nasia said Governor Bello Mohammed has ordered that all grazing routes, lands, water for livestock and other property of the Fulani seized as a result of conflict between them and the Hausas be returned immediately to the Fulanis for peace to reign in the state. We heard you people. We would convey your concerns to the state government. We asked them to stop attacking or killing Hausa people and their communities they promised to stop. The Fulanis asked government to provide fertilizers, cool, and free their people who have been arrested. He said the Fulanis wants government to provide fertilizers, free Fulanis in correctional centers, build a school for their children to discourage them for engaging in banditry, adding that lack of education is one of the major factors that is influencing Fulani children to take to arms.
The Borno state government has confirmed its readiness to reconstruct both public and residential structures in a former Boko Haram stronghold recently recaptured by the military. The State Commissioner, Minister of Reconstruction, Rehabilitation and Resettlement, Mustafa Gubio, said this after a visit to Gudumbali town, headquarters of Guzama local government area of Borno State. Gubio said now that the town had been recaptured, the committee's first priority is to have a military formation in Gudumbali so that reconstruction and resettlement process will be achieved soon. The Nigerian army has said that the 2 soldiers arrested by the Nigerian police over the murder of an Islamic cleric, Sheikh Gashua, will face the full wrath of both the military and civil laws. The decision of the Nigerian army was revealed in a statement on Sunday by the Assistant Director, Army Public Relations Operation, Hadin Captain Kennedy Anyanwu. Captain Anyanwu said the army was cooperating with the Yobe State Police Command to unravel the identity of the suspected soldiers. The army has also instituted a board of inquiry to unravel the circumstances surrounding the unfortunate incident, at the end of which the soldiers will be made to face the full wrath of both military and civil laws. Captain Anyanwu described the incident as highly regrettable given the sector's disposition to zero tolerance for violation of code of conduct and rules of engagement for troops. You're watching the news update on Trust TV. Coming up after the break, living without electricity for a long period. Please stay with us. Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
As the 2023 elections draw near, remember, evil prospers when good men and women only wish for peace, but never take a step to make peaceful elections happen. Are you a father? Are you a mother? What are you saying to your children as elections approach? Have you warned them not to let themselves be used to cause violence? Have you explained to them what the consequences of electoral violence might be? Do your part to make peaceful elections happen. Talk to your children. Protect them from unscrupulous politicians who want to put them in harm's way, while their own children are comfortable at home, within and outside the country. Let's join hands to make 2023 elections peaceful. This message is from the National Orientation Agency, NOAA.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, you're watching News Update on Trust Television. A recap of our top stories. 2 dead, 3 injured as building collapses in Lagos. And army vows to investigate as police arrest 2 soldiers over murder of Islamic cleric in Yobe State. Moving on to other stories now, Governor Abubakar Sani Bello of Niger State has revealed a plan to protect the interest of the Fulani herders in the 2023 budget by providing necessary facilities that will boost their activities in the state. Speaking at the APC Critical Stakeholders meeting in Kontagora local government, the governor said it is necessary to allow herders to have a sense of belonging as citizens in the state. He said herders, like other citizens, deserved fair treatment to enable them freely go about their activities. He said adequate measures had been taken to arrest the security challenges in the state, saying that the strategies being adopted will not be disclosed due to the activities of informants in communities. He appealed to the federal government to rehabilitate the dilapidated Minna-Kontagora Federal Road to ease motorist movement and boost economic activities in the area. The need for media practitioners to be proactive in their day-to-day reportage that can make the government improve on its policies has been stressed. Chairman of Media Trust Foundation, Billy Abala, made the assertion during the inauguration of digital marketing training organized by MacArthur Foundation at Daily Trust Glass House in Abuja. The report.
The chairman of the Media Trust Foundation, Alhaji Billy Abala, said media creates content according to what they want to communicate to their target audience or based on what the public wants to see. He said before coming up with a content, one must have a clearly defined audience, a successful marketing strategy as guaranteed to help increase conversations and a well-established online brand.
The foundation has been doing the little it could, not as big as this, in trying to build the capacity of journalists first within its immediate environment, which is the Media Trust, and subsequently out of Media Trust. However, in 2017, I think, we applied for MacArthur for funding out of its own Nigeria project for training and sustainability of journalists and media houses in Nigeria.
Board member Media Trust Group, Manir Ali, encouraged upcoming journalists to come up with more research content that can make their reportage credible and fair and impact the society positively.
Like be thinking on your feet. That is thinking in terms of creating something that goes beyond you. Some of the shareholders that you see here of Media Trust didn't have the benefit of this kind of training. But luckily, somehow, a collection of journalists, business people came together and thought of something that should even outlive them. Maybe at the beginning, they were just hoping that at least let's have a weekly paper that is there.
But there are a number of people who really, we don't know them. You know, we just read about them or we see the work that they are doing and we think that these are the people that we should support, and we'll reach out to them and see how we will be able to support them in our things, you know. And I think that so support for the Daily Trust Foundation really also is about the work they do and how do they do their work. And I always tell that, all we are looking for people is balance, fairness, balance and fairness. I think that's all we are looking for. We don't want newspapers to become, or news media to become just an opinion piece of the publisher all the time.
Director, MacArthur Foundation, Dr. Kole Shetima, said the training will not only make the trainees more confident, but also make them good ambassadors at all times. Kabir Lawal, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Communities in Bassa local government area of Plateau State say the 4 months of no electricity in the entire local government has increased the rate of crimes in their localities. The residents told Trust TV on Monday that the blackouts in the communities followed a rainstorm that destroyed 30 electric poles in the local government area. Ado Musa completes that report.
Members of the affected communities said since after the destruction of the poles, the Jos Electricity Distribution Company, which is responsible for the repairs, has not done anything to restore power in the area, describing the situation as a total disregard of the rights of consumers. The community said the development had resulted to high rate of crime in the area, adding that people who rely solely on electricity for their businesses have been counting losses, while some have closed them due to the cost of diesel.
For now, it has been 4 months that we have total blackout in Bassa community, and it has affected about 9 communities, and the authority concerned have not done anything about it. It has a very negative implication or effect on the residents of the community, because people that uses electricity for their businesses now have rendered their businesses comatose.
By virtue of that, they've not worked it. Like you can see the poles lying down behind me. It leads to houses. They can't access their homes by virtue of that. Look at their cars parked outside, and so they can't access anything.
The spokesperson of the company, Friday Elijah, denied that they had neglected the areas, explaining that after the destruction of the poles by the rainstorm, they had fixed more than 30 poles and had repaired 80% of the electrical faults.
When we learned that there was a natural disaster in that locality arising from falling poles, which was actually occasioned by windstorm, the company expeditiously moved to the location. We procure 37 concrete poles, and we've mounted all of them. We've restored supply to 80% of the community of Bassa. It is only those in the villages that we are here to give them supply. And the reason was very simple. The environment is marshy, the environment is muddy. Twice we got our crane stocked in that area, and it became extremely very difficult for us because of heavy downpour in Plateau, in Jos in particular, for us to continue with the speed with which we're going. And that was why we're slowed down. And it's not that we abandoned them. Even as I speak with you, our crane will be going back again to see, to ascertain if we can continue the work.
Residents are hopeful that sooner than later, their communities will enjoy power supply after a long while. From Jos, Ado Musa reporting for Trust TV.
The acting chairman of the Federal Capital Territory Internal Revenue Service, the FCT-IRS, Haruna Abdullahi, has called on taxpayers to desist from engaging tax advisors to doctor tax records or concealed documents. Abdullahi made the call in an interview with the news agency of Nigeria in Abuja. He warned that taxpayers found guilty of conniving with such tax advisors will be sanctioned in accordance with the law.
People are just here, living in Abuja, doing business, making tons of money, yet you are not contributing to the basket. And you are saying the infrastructure is, where do you think the administration or the leadership will get the money to fund this infrastructure? Everywhere in the world, the society, which means taxpayers, develop cities, developed countries, developed states. And I think that would continue, that should continue to happen. And that is what we are encouraging. So for me, you have a civic duty. Have you done that? Have you paid into the pool, yeah, where the administration they are now querying is not providing infrastructure, in quotes? What is your civic duty? Have you done it? Put it in the pool. Then now you can interrogate. You can now ask, when I today, wherever I am, I pay my taxes, then it is my government. And I'll interrogate that government, and I'll ask questions, and I'll request.
In business news, the National Bureau of Statistics, the NBS, says prices of selected food items increased in July. It made the declaration in its Select Food Prices Watch report for July 2022, released in Abuja this Monday. The NBS stated that the average price of 1 kilogram of white beans rose by 23.22% from 444.21 naira in July 2021 to 547.38 in July 2022. The report stated also that the average price of 1 kg of tomatoes increased on a year-on-year basis by 7.71% from 414 naira in July 2021 to 446 naira in July 2022. Others include price of 1 kg of beef with an increase of 27.58% from the 1,616 naira recorded in July 2021. The NBS also stated that average price of a bottle of groundnut oil stood at 1,078 naira in July 2022, showing an increase of 40.24% from 768 naira in July of 2021. Oil theft has a devastating effect on the Nigerian economy, and according to Nigerian National Oil Company, it costs the nation about $4 billion in revenue every year. Now, these, according to the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, the NNPCL, is because over 200,000 barrels of oil is lost to bunkering, outright theft and pipeline vandalism on a daily basis. Trust TV's Ibrahim Ismail takes a look at the trickle-down effect in Gombe State, especially how it affects availability of petroleum products. The report.
Last week, the Nigeria National Petroleum Company Limited (NNPC) launched a mobile application to fight oil theft, which is taking a toll on the nation's economy. To fight the menace, the NNPC said the mobile application will enable early reporting of pipeline vandalism for prompt action. An economist, Abdul Wahab Yusuf, said the consequences of oil theft and pipeline vandalism are enormous.
Oil sabotage affects economic activity. The government has to do more. If you look at the data where the government said that it has lost nearly $4.1 billion from oil theft, if we can imagine if such funds have been invested in, say for instance, health industry, maybe the health infrastructure, road infrastructure, education, and so on and so forth. So government has to put in place more measures, not necessarily using security forces, but it has to come up with measures to ensure that such losses can be averted.
According to a report published by the Cable, in the first quarter of 2022, the NNPC recorded 2.39 trillion naira as gross oil revenue and gas, while subsidy claimed 2.6 trillion naira, meaning more than two-thirds of the company's revenue was spent on subsidy. Experts are worried with the development.
If the amount that government is investing in fuel subsidy can also be invested in good roads, in infrastructure, in health facilities, this will also help to improve growth and development. Fuel subsidy and other subsidy reforms, the rich tend to benefit more than the poor masses.
Despite government's claim of financing subsidy, Nigerians still complain of hike in price of petrol, with some Okada riders in Gombe State saying the product is available, but at an exorbitant rate. A litre costs between 210 naira, 215 and 220 naira. The price of a litre ranges between 200, 210 and 215 naira, but no queues at the filling stations. As the largest oil producer in West Africa, Nigeria's economy has solely depended on oil revenue. But over the years, Nigerians have been experiencing difficulties in accessing oil and gas products. From Gombe, Ibrahim Ismail reporting for Trust TV.
On the foreign scene, the Democratic Republic of Congo National Institute for Biomedical Research says a new case of Ebola virus infection has been confirmed in the eastern city of Beni. The announcement was made on Monday. 2 days earlier, the World Health Organization had said authorities were investigating a suspected case in Beni after the death of a 46-year-old woman who had shown symptoms consistent with the disease. The institute said in a statement that genetic sequencing showed the case is linked to the 2018 to 2020 outbreak in North Kivu province, which killed nearly 2,300 people. Congo's dense tropical forests are a natural reservoir for the Ebola virus, which causes fever, body aches, and diarrhea. And for a little bit of sports now, the 999 call made by the sister of Ryan Giggs' ex-girlfriend following an alleged assault is a microcosm of the entire case, a jury has been told. The former Manchester United star 48 denies controlling behavior as well as assaulting Kate Greville 38 in November 2020. He also denies assaulting her younger sister Emma, who is 26. The jury was reminded of the call with Giggs in the background saying she caused the incident. In his closing speech for the prosecution, Peter Wright, QC, said the call was made within moments of the incident having taken place. And with our student Ryan Giggs, we've come to the end of News Update this hour. For more, do connect with us across all our social media platforms. I am Nten Ekbang. Thanks for watching. Join us again in the next hour.